don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. All right, I just saw the movie Bairavaa, or is it Agent Bairavaa? I searched it basically Agent Bairavaa, and it apparently the trailer is Bairavaa. It probably depends on the language. I don't know. But I watched it, and honestly, when I watched the trailer, I was kind of on the fence. I was worried about what it would be because, well, the trailer gave me a lot of things, and I couldn't really anchor onto anything because there was the child kidnap, there was the courtroom aspect, and then there was just all the action. Okay, now this movie was actually really well done. I actually did enjoy it from the beginning. They introduced him correctly because, well, I say it many times, he's just the typical boss. He literally knows how to go in, kick everyone's butt, and get what he wants out of it. Yeah, so basically he falls in love with this girl who happens to be in kind of a corrupt situation. She's not corrupt, but there is someone, a corrupt, not politician, but landowner, someone who literally killed his way to the top or threatened his way to the top and runs fictitious schools and hospitals to give people, just to get money from people paying for tuition. And she's basically trying to expose it. So of course her life is at risk, and he happened to fall in love with her, and yet he's a boss, so he can easily take out anyone that comes his way. That's basically where the courtroom drama comes into play, because she's literally taking him to court. That's where the kidnapping comes into play, because they're willing to, he's kidnapping people to basically get what he wants out of them. And that's basically where the action comes into play, where he's beating everyone up for the evidence to prove that this man's, well, corrupt, that this man is literally doing everything wrong that he shouldn't be doing. And I honestly did enjoy the way it paced. I loved the music. It constantly repeated the same song over and over. I didn't watch the songs. I'll have to watch those eventually. But sometimes, like, you know what, I need to get to a lot of times it doesn't really hold much to the story. It's like, I get it. Those two have fallen in love. I don't need much more than just the way they look at each other. I can tell from that moment on. I don't need a song to tell me much more than that, unless there's actually elements of their relationship in the song, which it is rare, actually. So I skipped through those. And yeah, it was absolutely a phenomenal watch, because it was just entertaining. Sure, having so many languages in India always makes my mind kind of flip, because I've learned to understand a few words here and there, that it's easier for me to understand the context of what's going on without completely reading subtitles. And then I switch to a different language and I'm like, crap, I have to completely read everything that's going on. But it works, because after a short period of time, my mind kind of adjusts and I can follow along. Well, it was just an enjoyable film throughout. I can't think of a single moment that, because of course the action was over the top, but I've come to expect that, and I've come to enjoy it, actually truly enjoy it, because when you know to expect it, when you know that that's what it's gonna be like, you can actually enjoy the fact that it's not taking itself too seriously. It can have a little bit of that element while taking advantage of like serious situations that things might actually arise, that things are actually like that. Yeah, because there's death in the family. There's the main character is an orphan himself. The girl he likes, the father's killed because he basically did the right thing. The brother-in-law to her is, well, a weak man, not a really strong man, but he basically turns a new leaf because he realizes it's better to be an honorable man than someone who basically is a worthless waste and makes money. So it does have a few messages. The story is enjoyable. It is funny how he just finds himself falling in love with the one person. Love at first sight, of course. It's always fun to see that kind of play out. And it had really funny moments. Like, the girl was basically being held hostage when he first finds her. And he literally just talks to the people because he had beaten them up in the previous action scene. And it's funny because there's like this one part where he's playing cricket. And I've kind of learned more and more about cricket based off of this. And he's basically doing poses. And immediately I'm like, okay, these are obviously famous players that he's imitating here. Yeah, I don't because they would have a screen and then like a snapshot of them right next to him as he was doing the same exact pose. So it was pretty cool to just see all that. It's like, okay, I'm learning a bit more, because cricket is the thing. Well, honestly, sports in general, I don't know much about. But yeah, so it is fun to this movie because there were just so many elements to it that just seemed to flow. Because I was absolutely worried about the courtroom aspect. I was worried about the kidnapping aspect. I was worried about the action aspect. How is this all going to play out? But it actually did work rather well. It didn't lean too heavily on the courtroom aspect. That was just like a side thing, because that's what his love interest is working on. So it doesn't really matter to him as much. So it's not a main story point for him, except for the fact that she's passionate about it. So that's why it's kind of added on. For him, it's about making sure this guy who she's at, the woman he loves is after, is taken out. That's what he's primarily working towards. Yeah, and I actually did enjoy that. It is a great movie. Yeah, Bairavaa, definitely loved watching it. I plan on watching it again at some point, because I need to get that song in my playlist for sure. Very, very catching. Yeah, just a good movie. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Doodles.